Nothing is simple about the plan to reawaken our society and get our economy going again after the coronavirus pandemic. To give the Prime Minister and the Premier's due credit, National Cabinet has at least settled on a three-stage plan. That sounds pretty simple, but each state and territory will work out its own timetable and might adjust elements of the plan. Even the version held up by the Prime Minister looks a little more like Noodle Nation than a three-point plan.
This is the plan for a COVID-safe Australia. 3 steps, moved out at the pace of states and territories, that will get us back where we need to be as quickly as we can.
Yep, it is difficult. Pubs, of course, pose different challenges to, say, supermarkets, and each state has different requirements and different strengths and weaknesses. But the real worry is a lack of impetus to get the country going, something Scott Morrison definitely wants.
You can stay under the doona forever, and you'll never face any danger. But we've got to get out from under the doona at some time, and if not now, then when?
Some states are pretty eager and are early out of the blocks.
Our step 1 of the plan, we will be starting that Saturday week.
Now we've got to do everything we can to bring unemployment down, get people back to work, but we've got to do it in a way which is not going to jeopardise the incredible performance and gains that we've made over the last 8 weeks.
But in Victoria, Daniel Andrews is not ready to move.
Nothing changes today, nothing changes tomorrow, nothing changes Sunday. The rules remain in place.
New South Wales Premier Gladys Berejiklian is super cautious too. This is a worry. At least there's a plan, but much of it is problematic. Allowing 10 people in a restaurant, for instance, won't help a lot of pubs and restaurants. How can they make the dollars add up if they can only have 10 customers at a time? And what's the point of freeing up travel into the regions when you can't go in and get a meal or a drink anywhere when you get there? The large states are a big handbrake here. Victoria is battling the Cedar Meats outbreak and New South Wales has Newmarch House. But outside these, their infection levels are minuscule. The idea that we're keeping hundreds of thousands of people out of work and sending businesses to the wall because we're spooked by a handful of infections is a definite worry. The medical advice has been strong for many weeks about the opportunities to open up. Politicians need to accept reality.
There will be risks, there will be challenges, there will be outbreaks, there will be more cases, there will be setbacks. Not everything will go to plan.
Yeah, the disease isn't going away. We have to manage it and learn to live with it. The premiers are too worried about infections and not worried enough about livelihoods. They're being too slow to lift severe measures that were never actually needed. And the scientific data now bears this out. Have a look at the latest research from the Doherty Institute in Melbourne. Its study of the pandemic in this country has found that, to quote them, we estimate that the effective reproduction number was likely below 1, the threshold value for control, in each Australian state since mid-March. Now, mid-March, crucially, was before the closure of pubs and clubs and beaches, for that matter. In other words, our earlier social distancing was doing the job. You can see it on these graphs, where you see the infection rate is well below the magic number of 1, well before the extreme lockdown measures were imposed from March to 22nd. Now, I'm not critical of these measures going in. We didn't know how well we were doing, but it's about how quickly we lift them. The evidence is in. We don't need the full throttle measures we have right in place right now. Every day they stay on, the state governments are killing businesses for no good reason.